Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of The Garden Girl. Today I know I say I'm always excited, but I'm really excited. I decided to have you guys and invite you out to my own place. I wanted you to see that even if you're a, went to school for it, or you're a professional in the industry, that it is what it is. We get busy working. You're limited to a few days off to get things done, and of course we've been dealing with Mother Nature not being in the greatest mood. So now that she is, I'm out here, and I really thought it'd be nice to show you guys that I don't have a perfect place. This is actually a new place that we moved to. This is only my second year gardening. So what I'm going to do is kind of take you through my day off and what I'm going to start doing, and what maybe it'll help you guys, give you some tips and some tricks on where you should be at. We're now in mid-May. I think I have a bead of sweat on my head rolling down, which is a beautiful thing. So we're gonna go from cleaning up our beds to pulling some weeds with the weed poppers, and the best way to use it, yanking out a barberry that's not supposed to be there. I have my indoor plants that are now ready to come out, so I have time now to bump them up instead of trying to do it on carpet. And my overwintered guy, obviously from my container here. He looks very sad, but he won't be. This is my third year with him, so he's a pretty happy camper. So we're gonna get him already put in his new container for the summer again. We're also going to do a planter. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna use flowers and edibles all in a hanging basket so that I can just pull some yummy strawberries off. And other than that, we're gonna take back the perennials. You're gonna see a little bit of why I leave what I leave over the winter, and we're gonna go from there. So without further ado, you guys go grab your notepad and coffee, or actually, since it's warm out, let's hit the water, and we'll be right back.
A nursing home or your own home, it's good to be home. So call Ember Complete Care for all of your home health needs. When you're recovering from illness or injury, our compassionate staff promotes healing in the most comfortable environment of all, your own home. For skilled nursing, physical therapy, wound care, and more, Ember Complete Care serves all of Tuscarawas, Coshocton, and Harrison counties. Call 800-462-0909. Ember Complete Care. It's good to be home.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Allure Hair Studio, located at 210 East 3rd Street in Yerixville.
Hi everybody, welcome back. All right, so I'm in a little different position, and by the way, you may want to grab your sunglasses because my legs might blind you. They haven't seen sun for 6 months, so if you need sunglasses, I totally understand. What I'm going to do, I've weeded out some of this, but I know a lot of people, I watch them struggle with weed poppers, and I love these little tools. God, you can get them anywhere cheap. And basically, I do, and I know it's not a good thing to do all the time, but man, does it make life easier. I wait until they get big enough to grab a hold of. In this case, it hasn't seeded out yet, so I'm fortunate. But what you're gonna do is, all you do is get down in, especially on these big roots. I see a lot of people, they always wanna go like this, and they wanna pull straight up. When you get down on that root, you pop, like you just twist it, and the whole darn thing will come up. So that's out of there. Now, it's also a good time. I usually go through, I get all the leaves, all the crummy stuff from the winter out. I have lava rock. Some people use mulch. It's a good time to take the garden rake, get everything kind of fluffed up and evened, and make your spots. You can see right here, I've got an empty spot. Well, it wasn't empty last year. Unfortunately, this guy came out this morning like nothing. A 2-year-old or a 1-year-old could have pulled him out. It didn't make it. So with that being said, I have an open spot for a new plant. So I'm not real heartbroken by that. So there's another one gone. So I've got my open spot. I've moved my lava rock away. So when I'm ready to go shopping, I'll bring something home and get it in there. Normally what I do is put my perennials in the ground. I do a lot of my annuals, besides my marigolds and stuff, I do a lot of my annuals in containers because I do a lot of tropicals. It's a little easier to keep them together, so to speak, and keep them kind of bound, I should say. The next thing I'm going to do, if you notice, I'm going to crawl down here. This is a barberry shoot. Now, and this is where the redneck in me kind of comes out a little bit. When I first moved in, like I said, this whole bed was nothing but barberries, overgrown, shrubs half dead, just really not very pretty. And so, of course, we hooked up the four-wheeler and a chain and got a shovel and yanked him out. This guy, for some reason, still wants to be just kind of a nerve in my back, I guess would be the best way to say it. So again, he's got some big tap roots. I'm going to try to pop him out. Chances are I'm going to have to pull this all summer long, just like I did last summer. For some reason, it has a very big will to live. So, and no, I'm not going to leave that junk up there. I will pick it up when I'm all done, but for time's sake right now, I'm just tossing. So I'll try to get out what I can at this point. You know, again, you got to twist in order to break it. To just pop underneath, not going to work real good. So again, get down in there, twist, and they'll come right out. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, you can see all this dead stuff. I'm sure you guys can. Now, if you look, notice how I've left my labels in. There's a couple reasons I do that. One, I show flowers at our local county fair, and you have to be able to label them by the variety and what they are. The judges really like that. And so do the people. I mean, they really love it. Oh, apple blossom tree. I'm telling you, these blossoms. Anyhow, so if you're seeing all this white in here, I have a few big, beautiful old apple trees, and they are blooming and they are shedding. So what we're going to do is take all this out. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you do that in the fall? I have my reasons. My biggest reason is that, yes, I will trim back the super ugly stuff, but I'll leave, just as you can see, just enough of it, because not only if I don't have a label there, but even if I do, I know for sure where it's at and if it's going to come back. So again, it's just like a time-saving tip. Yeah, it doesn't look good over the winter, but then again, as much snow as we had on the ground, like you really saw it, you didn't even see it. So this is why I leave it on there. Now, this is a good time. I'm still going to leave my label in, but this is where I'll come down with my nippers and start getting all the gross stuff out, because as you can see, my little Cheyenne spirit here, it's got some good growth. It's coming back. And same with my blanket flower, which, by the way, I do have a preference towards certain flowers and a color theme. I have a very warm color theme in this bed, and so I stick with the yellows, reds, and oranges. Again, I'm going to come in. I'm going to take all this out because this is dead. I mean, it's done. It's dead. It's not coming back. Now, you can see all the babies right around in here. I don't know if you guys can get a close-up of this, but you can see some of the new growth all popping out. So again, all I'm doing is just kind of a cleanup. Is the dead stuff hurting this guy? No, not at all. I mean, it's not hurting it a bit. So, and again, I use my trusty handy nippers. I use these for everything. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of clean it up to make it look pretty. Take the leaves away, make sure there's no rocks around the base, you know, give it some breathing room, but then I'm gonna let it go. So basically, if you can come in, for starters, like I did, get your weeds out, you know, definitely get your bigger weeds out, cut back all this little dead stuff, get the leaves away now, you know, you can start getting it pretty. So once I do that and get all the shrapnel out of here, and I've got my spots made, I'm done with this little area. I'm done. Everything's clipped back, it's done. What I will do, and I will show you, I like bone meal. It's organic, you can toss it down. It gives them a little bit of boost of growth. So I'll sprinkle some. You know, it's like a tablespoon for 2 square feet. Well, I'm just gonna sprinkle some around and either let the rain bring it in or I'm gonna water it in to help boost these guys and give them a little bit of an edge for, you know, for the spring and summer coming up. I want them to grow. So next up, what we're gonna do is I've already put some potting soil in this particular container. So we're gonna finish it off and I'm gonna go ahead and pot my tropical that's been living with me for 3 years. I'm gonna go ahead and cut him back and get him placed. So you can kind of see that if you have one that's a little loppy, it's okay. We're gonna take care of that. So stay tuned, be right back and have fun with me.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
Well, hi guys, welcome back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my lovely varnish plant out, the one that I said I've had for like 3 years. And I know he looks awful because I've just kind of let him grow and do his thing. But this is what happened last winter too. So I'm used to it. I know what he does. I brought him out yesterday, and of course now we're lopping because life is over. It's, you know, they're so dramatic about things. They'll be fine. So if you see that you're bringing something out and all of a sudden it's kind of weepy, chances are, one, it's leggy like this, which in a perfect world, should I have trimmed it back more? Yes, but I couldn't help myself. It was so pretty last fall and I wasn't ready for it to be done. So instead, it's leggy, but it's getting ready to go back in its container. So what I want you to see here, if you can at the bottom, we have a new sprout. So at the end of the day, this is going to grow like crazy anyhow. So it's not a big deal. What I'm going to do with this guy here, he's fine. He's upright. He'll have more shoots that will shoot out. They tend to do that. Now, this guy here, he needs some weight taken off. And actually, what I'm going to do with him in general is take him back and see what he does. I may have to take the whole stem off. It depends. If he starts shooting up from the bottom like these other ones are, fine, I'll leave him go. At this point, I'm going to give him a chance to stand upright, so I'm going to take off a lot of the weight. And you'll see right from the get-go when you do that, obviously he's sitting back up. So I'm going to give him like a week or two, something like that. Same with this guy here. We've got some new growth on the end. I'm just going to take him back and see if I can get some new growth and shoots down at the bottom. Same here with this one. I want more food to go down there than up. Now this one here I already cut, so he's standing up. And again, this loppy little guy, he's not happy, but you'll see they're going to stand up right away. So we're just going to take this extra growth off and see what happens. Like I've told you guys, everything's kind of, I don't want to say like the mad scientist, but kinda. I'll do a lot of trial and error, and I've definitely figured out what's worked over the years for me, and he's just gonna take back off like a banshee. So at this point, scissors down, shovel out. I've got to get him out of here. Now, I'm sure he's rooted in. I don't know if you can see, but I have put some slow release in here for him. He was watered real good yesterday, and there's some slow release that I put in as our days started getting longer. And you know, spring, we sprung ahead with the clock. I started putting in some fertilizer to get him going again and boost his growth. So I've already put new potting soil in here. So at this point, I'm just going to divvy up a hole. Now, I am going to eventually put a few trailing things in the front here that's going to come over. Not totally sure yet what, but we're going to get him in the ground anyhow so he can get a good start. So all I'm going to do, and like I said, you know, these guys have such big root systems on them that I just kind of take my shovel down in. I try to get the most of it out. And as you can see, he's got quite a bit. So all I want to do is make sure I keep my lip on there, because just like my normal containers, you know, if it's really dry out, I need the water to catch. So we're going to place him in here, tallest to the back, and throw him in. Then we're going to lift this guy out. Now again, you can see some nice, big, healthy roots. I'm you know, really ecstatic with how they did over winter. So again, I'm going to place him in and kind of keep him towards the back. And then this is where I'm just going to grab my shovel. And again, we'll be back out here so you guys will see. And yes, I know a little garden shovel's fine for that, but again, time-wise, I'm going to come in and get it done as quick as possible. Not that I don't like spending time out here, but I got a lot of stuff to plant. So we'll tuck him in and make sure that all the roots are covered. Now again, since we just kind of had some rain here, that potting soil underneath, and obviously as you can see when I picked him up was dripping wet, I'm not going to water this one in. There's plenty of moisture in there. Again, you can kill things quicker over watering it than under watering it, because you can always add water, but you can't take it out. Well, technically, if you want to go to popping them out of a pot and all that fun stuff, but I don't recommend it. So it's a lot easier to add. So I'm pretty sure this guy will be fine for a while. So we're going to dust it off, and that part is complete. So when we come back, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with edibles and flowers in my hanging basket. So stay tuned.
In 2008, we were notified that our funding would be, our corporate funding would be reduced. So we were very much struggling in 2009. The Tuscarawas County Community Foundation came in like a white knight on a horse and saved the Arts Center. Now that looks like we're going to be here forever, people are coming in and more willing to support the organization and help us achieve our mission.
Hi everybody, welcome back. All right, so here's where it gets kind of interesting. One of the new trends that you're gonna see out there, and I started doing it a couple years ago just because I thought it would be kind of fun, is putting flowers and edibles together. I did petunias and cosmos and strawberries a couple years back. It was actually in that container that we just planted up, but this year I'm gonna kind of throw a curveball, so to speak, and I'm going to try hanging baskets. Now, I'm hoping that the watering, it's enough area for it. What I've decided to do is use just a plain old, I don't know, it's 10-inch, 12-inch, I don't know. Anyhow, this is the basket I'm going to use. I have a pair of them, so I'm going to make 2 of them. But for right now, whoops, timber, we're going to make 1. So all I'm going to do is get some. Obviously, you don't want to set these plants right down on the bottom. They need a little bit of room. So we're going to get some of my potting soil. And notice if this tells the story of how much I garden, notices this whole garden cart is full with potting soil. I know it seems a bit ridiculous, but it is what it is. So I'd rather have more than enough than run out and have to run to the store. So all I'm going to do is line this pot here with a little bit in the bottom. Then I'm going to start placing it. I decided this year I am going to do strawberries again. I want them to trail out the side. So I think a really fun look, since both of them like the sun, is the petunia. And I'm going to go with the red. I'm going to go with the red strawberries, white little flowers, and the bitter lemon. This is a new one. This is the Crazy Tunia. It's a new color they have out. And I like to, again, I really get excited about the new varieties, new colors, especially in the petunia and million bell world. We seem to have a lot. It's constantly changing. So we're looking at a nice good root system here on this guy. So again, all I'm going to do is kind of push him out and place him down in, just to get him placed. So he's in. And notice on my hanging basket, yeah, my hanger's on here, but I've left one off. You don't want to try to plant up a hanging basket with all three of them on, because it's like really awkward, really awkward. So at this point, I would suggest getting your, I'm doing everbearing, because yeah, I like the big strawberries. The June bearing's really fun, but I want to be able to walk out of my door and pick off strawberries on my way to work. So I've picked out my everbearing. You can usually find these in cell packs. And again, a nice good root system. I don't know if you can do a close-up, but I have 3 strawberries on this one already. So it's not going to be long, a couple weeks, and I'm going to be picking them. And that's the one nice thing. This time of year, that looks like they are all coming on pretty strong. So now I'm going to go ahead and place them around. Now again, I'm going to fan out the bottoms a little bit, but I am going to keep them right on the side with just a little bit, just enough potting mix to kind of buffer them. Oh, get out of there, clump. Okay, and we're going to keep them on the sides, because don't forget, you don't want to plant them, I mean, think about where your hangers are. Hence, that's why, another reason why I put a couple of them on at first. So we're going to tease the bottoms out. I mean, feel free, you can tell it a knock-knock joke if you want, but this is how I tease them. So I've got a couple more here, and we're just going to space them out. Now, I know it seems like a lot, and if it gets too much, I'll cut them. I'd rather have plenty in there, since I know it seems like the strawberry plants go fast everywhere. So if it gets to be too much, fine. Okay, now I know this is where my other hanger is going to go, so again, I'm keeping that in mind. And we'll spread this guy out, add a little bit to the side. And again, I'm trying to keep everything even, because I don't want to bury them. I don't want to bury, you know, I don't want to bury the crown. You want everything flush. There's only a, tomatoes, yes, they like being buried. But, so I'm going to add this in and kind of get it going, and then place my last plant right past that. So I've got my strawberries kind of symmetrical. I'll hold it up here for you. Kind of symmetrical around the whole thing. Now, another reason why I picked this particular petunia is it's more of a mounder. I would definitely not suggest putting a wave petunia in there. Yeah, wave petunias have some height to them, but depending on what kind of wave, you could overshadow your strawberries really quick, because they're aggressive growers. So I'm choosing one that's more of a mounder, a pot tunia. They call them pot tunias. That would be another good choice. But make sure, again, I always say check the labels. Check the labels. Check the labels. So at this point, all I'm going to do is add in my soil. Hands. I swear, God gives you hands for a reason. So I'm crumbling it up as I'm putting it in, so it's nice and soft for them. Not the tag, though. Any that I can't get crumbled up for whatever reason is not going in there. I want it nice, light, and soft. Okay, so now this one here, obviously I'm going to want to water it today. I mean, I probably now have 50 mil. I'm ready for iced tea. So it's getting warm out. I'm definitely going to want to water this because the nice thing, and everything has pluses and minuses. The nice thing about the core is that it has really good drainage. The bad thing is when you water it in the morning and it's 90 degrees out and you come home from work at 5, it could be dry. In August, it could be dry. So that's the only downside to them. But if it doesn't bother you, use the core. It has great drainage and this guy's ready to go. So when I hang him up, once I hang him up, I'll water him in and he'll be good to go and he can grow on. So stay tuned. When we get back, I'm going to pot up my own little special tomatoes because I'm going to go ahead and leave them in for a couple weeks before I put them in the ground. So I'm going to show you exactly, I know we took some of the ones from the gallons last week, but I'm going to do it myself and show you from scratch how the old farmers taught me how to do this. So stay tuned. Be right back.
A nursing home or your own home, it's good to be home. So call Ember Complete Care for all of your home health needs. When you're recovering from illness or injury, our compassionate staff promotes healing in the most comfortable environment of all, your own home. For skilled nursing, physical therapy, wound care, and more, Ember Complete Care serves all of Tuscarawas, Coshocton, and Harrison counties. Call 800-462-0909. Ember Complete Care. It's good to be home.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Allure Hair Studio, located at 210 East 3rd Street in Yerixville.
Well, hi guys. I want to say thanks again for joining me today. I hope my landscape didn't scare you off. I hope it made you actually feel a little better if you do have a new house or a new apartment that you're doing, or you're like me, you've just been kind of stretched on time, and you know, hey, it'll get done when it gets done. It's mid-May. We're fine. Plenty of time. So anyhow, what I would like to say is for the word of the week, we're now into May, and I know this isn't exactly a gardening thing, but the word of the week this week is SPF. I am very, very, very diligent about skin cancer and SPF. You guys, if you're going to be outside, even on a day where the sun is coming out and in and it's kind of cloudy, you need SPF on. I do not walk out of this house from, sunny days on here, even not sunny days, May on, even in April, I've got SPF on. And I want you guys to be around for a long time to garden and to enjoy this. So the last thing I want you guys to do is get skin cancer. So yes, the little word of the week is SPF. We kind of had a funny question of the week. And again, it wasn't exactly plant related. I know they do some close-ups, and yes, in my business, I don't really do much with my nails and stuff this time of year. I'm a girly girl, just like you guys. But if you're one of the girly girls like me, in May when you're doing a lot of this planning, it might be good just to kind of chill out on getting the nails done because you are going to get a lot of dirt and stuff underneath. Once I get most of my planning done, hey, then I'll head to my nail shop and I'll get them put back on and, diva it up with everybody else and look all gorgeous. But this time of year, it's really pointless. I've snapped more off than anything. So if you guys do have long nails, it is soil, it is bacteria. You could pick up anything. Make sure you're scrubbing them underneath. A lot of times I have to use pumice stone, a scrub to get it done and to get them clean again, but it's well worth it. So with that being said, with those few girly, non-plant, but beneficial tips, join me next week when we're going to get ready to get these veggies outside. It's Memorial Day. Woohoo! Summer is here. So, and we're going to get the house plants outside for the whole summer. I will see you guys soon. Have a wonderful week.